How's it going, guys, and welcome to today's video. Today I'll be introducing you to 5 new members that we got out here on the ranch. I'll give you a little hint. If you like pigs, you're gonna like this video because that's what we're talking about today on Farmer Tyler Ranch. On Saturday, we brought our second and hopefully last batch of pigs for the year home from our friends up in Vina, which brings our grand total of pigs for the year up to 8. Truth be told, I really did not want to have 2 different age groups of pigs. You can see when they stand next to each other how different they are in size. And this means that there's really no way that I could feed them together and ensure that these young, smaller pigs are going to get enough to eat from the older, bigger pigs. I knew that I wanted to use the same breeder again this year because I've been so happy with his pigs in the past. And what ended up happening actually is this group of 3 here, originally I was gonna get that whole litter, but their mom I think had a lot of landrace in her, and if you haven't seen those pigs, they have the big floppy ears that kind of cover their eyes. She laid on a bunch of the piglets, and we think it's because she just couldn't see them. But sometimes things happen that are out of our control, and this is what we ended up with. Simply put, it meant that I was going to need 2 pens for the pigs this year, which meant a little bit of extra work on my part. And I knew that this was something that I was going to have to do, but you guys know how busy I've been lately, and I just didn't have time to get this pen put up. So when I got the new pigs home, they had to spend the night in the cow trailer, so I could just get another day to finish up this pen and get them moved. Be that as it may, we've got what we've got now, and we're going to make the best of it. Building a second pig pen, especially one that's this small, should really not be that big of a deal. And to be perfectly honest with you guys, it probably took me longer to decide where to put the pen than it took to actually build it. I was kind of leaning towards this spot right next to the old pen from the beginning because it has a few big things going for it. Number one, it made it so much easier to get these old pigs into the new pen. All I had to do was open a gate on the old pen and boom, there they were. The other reason is that when the butcher comes to do his work here, he'll pull through this gate and back his truck right up here to this pen, because usually I end up making a temporary pen there anyway, so that we've got a good place for him to work. This way there will already be a butcher pen ready to go, and it's even going to be better quality this year than it has been in the past. What I don't love about this pen location is that I don't have any sort of shelter, man-made or otherwise, to protect the pigs from rain, wind, anything that they might be exposed to out here. Now this is easy enough to remedy. I can always build them something or put something here, but I don't really want to do that because I don't plan on having two different groups of pigs in the future. These guys are scheduled to be harvested the first week of November, and around here that means that they might never see rain in their life, or it means they could see a lot of rain. So we'll just kind of have to see what the weather does and sort of cross that bridge when we get to it. This location does, however, offer plenty of good shade, and in a minute here they're going to have a nice mud puddle as well. So they'll have plenty of protection from the heat. With pigs, I honestly worry a lot more about heat and sun stress than I do about them getting too cold, because when it's too hot, there's really not a lot they can do if they don't have shade and they don't have mud. If they get cold, they have plenty of strategies to stay warm. It's actually amazing the way they can all burrow together in the hay and get together and share body heat. And for animals that don't have a fur coat, it's amazing what they can endure. The new piglets have only been in here for a couple of days, but I think they're already acclimating really nicely. And I don't know if maybe it helps having the older pigs right there next door to sort of put them at ease a little bit. I mean, obviously they're still a little leery around me after moving them out of the stock trailer the other day, but that's sort of to be expected. I would say the new piglets weigh somewhere in the neighborhood of 40 to 50 pounds, and at this age, they should start hitting their feed pretty good, and these guys have. The other thing that I always make sure to do is I want to put a big bucket of water in here until I see them drink water out of the water nipple, just to be on the safe side. Just so happens, as I was filming this video, that I did see them drink water out of the water nipple, so now I know that I can go ahead and get rid of this bucket whenever they knock it over or spill it or whatever they end up doing. The new batch of piglets here has a harvest date set for sometime in the end of December, and that'll put them right at about 6 or 7 months of age. This is plenty of time to finish a hog. In fact, it's probably more time than they'll actually need. The reason that I did it that way, though, is because I had to make these appointments so far out. I wanted to make sure that they had plenty of time, and if it ends up that, you know, 4 of these guys are humongous and then 1 of them is just the right size, I'm okay with that. In fact, I would prefer that than having it the other way around, where only 1 of them reaches the harvest weight that I shoot for at about 250 pounds, and then the other 4 would be too small. Right now, these guys are getting a budget pig feed, affectionately known as Money Saver Hog, and I'm mixing some soybean meal in there as well to boost that protein level up to where it needs to be for young pigs. The reason that I'm not mixing a custom ration for these guys like I normally do is because I think my source of rice has sort of dried up, and I'm going to need to find a different way to get bulk grain to feed these guys. I've got a couple of different leads on where I can get it, and if I have to buy it, I'm probably going to go with corn, which I think will be a little bit more relatable to you guys anyway, because corn is readily available across the country. But stay tuned for that in a future video, and I'll show you guys what I end up with. For now, all these little pigs have to worry about doing is eating, sleeping, and then doing it all over again. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys, and I hope I'll see you again on Farmer Tyler Ranch.